start with something tangible. There's a difference between having a side hustle and having a full-fledged business. In my first year, I made £13,000. In the second year, it made almost £30,000.
Yeah, so you see, when you start as a beginner, it's very difficult to put some of these things, all of these things that you've mentioned together. And the challenges keep weighing people down. And like you said, most businesses, they start maybe in the first year, like you said, 45% of them collapses. And then even in the third year, 95% of them are out of business already. So as a young beginner, if I do not have the money and I have just the idea, I am not fit to start a business.
You can't just have an idea. That's the thing. Business is inspired by ideas.
Okay.
But it's built on principles, functions, structures, and organization. That's what makes a business. Is by saying that when you go to the shops to go and buy a chocolate bar, it's not just chocolate. You might have milk in the chocolate bar. You might have nuts in the chocolate bar. The chocolate bar's been in the oven. The chocolate bar has been packaged. The chocolate bar has been priced. You're not just buying chocolate that you can get from the ground. You're buying everything that comes with it. So if you're somebody that you have an idea, even if you don't have the money, I would say start to plan out how you want your business to be. Envision where you want to take your business in 3 years. Start off with the first year, then the third year, then the fifth year. Okay, have a plan. Even as a believer, yet again, the Bible says, have a plan. Habakkuk 2:2. Have a plan. Write it down. Make it plain. As in, write it down on a piece of paper, in a document. And then it says, so that everybody that sees it will then run with it. It's not good just to have a plan. You need to be able to run with your plan.
Run with the plan.
You need to be able to run with it.
Okay.
You need to be able to see what your business in, and how I believe in it is because I've seen what you've said. I can also run with it. So you have an idea, that's good. Businesses are inspired by ideas, but they fly on the wings of structure.
Okay. So does it make it that, it fits into, like, you must have a business plan as a person when you start the whole business?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
But all these stuff that you have outlined, are they not business plan? Are they not the components of a business plan?
They are the foundations, but plans change, right? Plans are not concrete.
So a business plan is not static.
It's not static.
Okay.
Because just as, let's say that you are on a boat, right? Because we're all on a boat. We're all on a destination from A to Z, right?
Yeah.
When you start sail, it could be sunny. But when you probably get to your destination, it's raining.
Yeah.
Right. So just as you have an idea of where you're going, who you're trying to target, what the price is, by the third year, that plan would have evolved. And that's why I said start with something tangible, something that has, where you want to go in 5 years, where you want to be in 3 years, where you want to be in 1 year, what you want the company to look like. Build some sort of formation, some sort of block. And as you run with it, obviously it transforms over time. If I show you the logo that I had when I first started my business to the logo that I have 5 years later, you can see growth in just those both logos, because I had an idea to just take pictures. That was my business plan. I wanted to help people take good quality pictures, whether that was for birthdays, weddings, conferences, events, concerts. That was my plan. 5 years ago, that was my plan. Then I came into the world of media marketing and I understood so much. And then as I understood, I put the two together. So I put the two together, and now I don't just take pictures. I consult. I work with founders. I work with creatives. I work with organizations. I give speeches at schools, universities, events. I educate people. I'm building workshops. I'm launching a network for creatives and Black freelancers in the UK.
Wow.
But that's only because I had an idea to take a picture and take pictures and create content for people.
Yes.
Now I am building a system and a model, an organization with the agency that I have because I want to impact more people, and I just see that I can't just be taking pictures forever. So I had the idea. The idea was to just take pictures, right? And when I started, I didn't even have a business name. I just put my initials together and media at the end. So my business is called CN Media, right?
Oh, okay. That is where it stems from.
That's where it started.
Okay.
CN Media, as
CN
in
Media.
Crystal Narco Media.
Yeah.
That was it. That's where I started.
Wow.
Right?
Interesting.
Media. Now my business is called Clear Narrative Media.
Everything about it now is clear.
Yes. Why? Because I had something. I had an idea of I thought where I wanted to go.
Great.
Because I realized that what my business does is that we sell clarity. We bring clarity. So whether you're starting out in business, whether you're a founder, whether you're an organization, clarity is at the core, the root of everything that I did. That's why I said we want to be that bridge between confusion and clarity. We want to help you to have clarity, right? Where there's no clarity, there is confusion, right?
Yeah.
But that started from just taking pictures.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. Having an idea, at least where you would like to see yourself, it helps.
It helps.
So you can have some sort of foundation, but as you evolve the business grows. I started off with myself. In the business, I've had up to 10 people in the business in the last 5 years. I've paid more than 10 people in the business.
Really?
Yes, we've done conferences, we've done events, we've done awards, we've done literally from the Ghana Music Awards to Afrochella to we've done so much. All because we had one idea.
Just one idea.
Yes, just one idea. And that was to take pictures. Wow. Now we are a media and marketing agency that helps people. And pictures, we haven't forgotten that. Pictures are, in the core of what we do. We help with photography. And even with the pictures that I started off taking, I now have a portable studio.
You have a portable studio?
I have a portable studio. That studio I can set up anywhere and everywhere. It comes with lights.
You are too great.
Backdrop. It comes with, I can come and set up in your kitchen. I can come and set up in your living room. I can set up in your office. Just literally 2 days ago, we were in an office in London for a graduation.
Yeah.
We set it up there and we were taking pictures of students for their graduation within the media and advertisement world, right? But we weren't just taking pictures. We were now speaking to the students. We were encouraging them. We were able to kind of give them advice as they're about to, enter the industry.
The industry, yeah.
And that only started because I had an idea to take pictures. Now I can literally take pictures anywhere. I don't need a studio, right? Wow. I don't need to book a studio for £100. I can literally go into an office. I can literally come into your house. I can literally even set up in a park if I really wanted to.
Right? Anywhere. Wow.
Anywhere. Why? Because I had one idea to
just an idea.
Just an idea to take pictures. And now that's evolved into building a business that cares about the clear content of people, not just the pictures that you take. What are you doing with that pictures? How do you market it? Where are you tagging? What are the SEOs and trackings that you're using for those pictures?
Yeah.
How are they being visible? How are they helping your business? But it all started from an idea. So what I'm trying to say, all in all, is having an idea is good, but it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. Have some sort of structure. Where do you want to see your business?
Mm-hmm.
What are the different components you want in your business? If you tell me right now, like as my business is growing, I have an org chart. So I know that 10 years into my business, I know who I want to have. I want to have me as the director at the top. I want to have 3 or 4 different leads as in heads.
Yeah.
And head directors. Then I want to have sub-directors. Then I want to have sub-directors. And then I just want to have the basic level.
Wow. So
And
that is kind of a full structure.
A full structure. And that's in the name of Jesus, I will get there. But that's what I thought of where I want my business to go.
Mm.
Right? And it's only 3 or 4 years in that I've now decided that's where I want it to go.
Yeah.
But when I started, I just had an idea. And that's not good enough and the reason why I tell you it's not good enough, even though I was taking pictures, I wasn't making the amount of money that I'm making today.
Mm.
Even though I was just taking pictures, I had a logo. I had a logo and everything. It was cute, but we've evolved. Even though I had that and I had no ethos, so I was just literally aimless. It wasn't growing.
Okay.
And I think what people need to identify is that there's a difference between having a side hustle and having a full-fledged business, right? And that's the difference. You can have an idea and not have the money or anything and just hustle. That's fine, but that's not a business. A business is a full functioning machine. It's like basically putting your clothes in the washing machine and it doesn't spin. Why? Because it's not functioning.
It's not functioning.
But a business is when you put that clothes in the washing machine, it doesn't only just wash your clothes. Sometimes you have even dryers built into the washing machine. So it doesn't just take away the dirt. It doesn't just clean the clothes. It doesn't just rinse it. It now dries it. Your problem was that the clothes was dirty. The clothes were dirty.
Yeah.
And now the clothes are clean, but they've gone through a process. And that's what a business is. It's a process. It's a system. It's an organization whereby your idea is that foundation. It's inspired by your idea, but it cannot be maintained or sustained by just an idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just an idea. So talking about your business, you said you've grown when you started compared to when you started up to now. How do you measure, or track your progress and your success up to this point? What metrics do you use to say I've really transformed this up from this point up to this point?
Okay, so the first metric I've used is me as a person. Obviously, age doesn't determine your growth, but from when I started, when I was 22 years old, and now I'm 27.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So 5 years.
5 years now.
When I started, I didn't know how to price, like I mentioned. Right now, if you tell me how much one booking is, I can tell you a booking is £300 for 2 hours. And it's a standard 2 hours.
Okay.
Right? 1 hour, 150. I can tell you that now. When I started, I'd be like, I might charge you £20, £30.
Yes.
But I didn't think about, okay, I'm not just taking the picture. I have to now edit the picture. I have to get there. When I get there, what's going to be my travel costs in and out? I didn't think about that. I just thought about taking the picture. Now, when you ask me to take a picture, I will ask you, what is the purpose of you taking the pictures? How long do you
want to take that picture?
Taking the pictures for? What is the location? Because I need to know where I'm traveling to.
Yeah. And
what is your turnaround time? Simply because if your turnaround time, if you want me to take the pictures today and deliver it to you tomorrow, I need to now charge a premium rate because I need to go, take the pictures, come home, edit them and deliver them at a set time. And that's a premium rate. But before, I didn't understand that because I didn't understand the business side. There's the creative side to a business where it's your skills. And I think a lot of people think having a skill, so taking pictures, podcasting, painting, singing, is the business. It's not. The business rely on the structure, number one. It relies on the numbers, and it relies on your in and your outcomes. So that's how I kind of measure my growth. Now I have much more of a system. Yet again, with my business from now until then, my business wasn't registered. It wasn't registered 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's because now that I think about it, that's why I said it's best to differentiate between a side hustle and an actual business.
Yeah.
It wasn't registered. I registered my business 3 years ago. So I registered my business 3 years ago, and I have a company number, I have a tax number, I have a UTR number, and then I have a bank. I have bank accounts. I was using my personal bank account 5 years ago. Now I actually have a bank account. And in that bank account, it will have all my other numbers, and I can measure. That's how I measure it. So another way that I measure it is how much I make in a year. In my first year, I made £13,000.
£13,000.
Yeah, this is after registering it. So
Okay.
I would say in my second year, it's a bit confusing, but
yeah.
So let's just go with the year that I actually registered my business, just to give a little bit of clarity. So when I registered my business, right, in the actual first year, it made £13,000, right? In the second year, which we've just had, it made almost £30,000.
£30,000. That is after tax or before tax?
No, that's before the taxes.
Before the tax.
Almost £30,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
In my third year coming up, I want to make at least 50 or 60. How do I do that? And that's because I've been able to grow it. Every year I want to at least double the number a little bit. That shows me growth. Why?
Yeah.
Because of the type of services I provide, who I'm marketing to, how I'm making my money. I don't just make money from, for example, for just the services. Like I said, I now speak at events or I speak at certain places. So when I speak, I'm going to take a speaker's fee, or if they're going to cover something, then they're going to still pay me in addition.
Yeah.
And that goes into my business account. And then it gets resolved into when I do pay myself, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So the amount of money that I've made annually is another way that I can also kind of measure my growth. Because I've seen that when I started, so when I really started 5 years ago, I wasn't probably even making close to £5,000. I wasn't. Right. But when I said, okay, this thing has to now move from £5,000 to £10,000, the small changes that I'm making, it now has to become a business. In the first year, I made 13K. And that was the major stream of that was from one main service. And that also showed me that people were interested in that main service, right? So in the last 3 years, I now know there's 2 services that my clients love, and that's where I make the bulk of my money from.
Okay.
So I think in my third year, I can then evaluate, and hopefully this other new venture that we are launching on the 19th of October will also give me an indication of whether it is something that brings in money or not. And then the last thing that I would say is my quality has also changed. So not only have I changed as a person, not only have I changed in terms of structure, not only have I changed in terms of how much money we make in the organization, and also how many people we've been able to have in the organization.
Yes.
In terms of the quality has changed. So when I started, for example, I was taking pictures. I was taking pictures on a Canon 4000D, right? That's like the most beginner camera. If you want a really beginner camera, budget-friendly camera.
For photography?
Yeah. That is the camera that you need to have, right? And that's what I started. Now I'm getting like the Canon R. Hopefully, oh god, that's the camera that I'm just about to buy. right?
Okay.
So the quality in terms of the pictures that I take has changed. The editing software, so obviously I use Adobe, but the way that I used to edit even 3 months ago is not the way that I edit today. Because I'm always evolving. So it means that the quality is always changing. I'm always watching how people have done it, how people who've been in the game
learn from the best practices.
Yes, how they've done it. And I always practice on my craft. So the quality is obviously going to improve. In the consultant services, when I started, I used to use like this form, and then I used to then use Calendly, and then Calendly would charge you, and then so many things. But now I have a structure. So if you want a consultation, you literally click on the website and it takes you to a form. You fill out your name, you pick the date, you pick what you're talking about. And then if it's a paid consultation, Google allows you to take money on the spot. So it takes the money on the spot. And I don't pay any extra because I've learned how to keep my costs down. And that's a seamless process for booking a consultation. So the quality is better. It's not now I have to email you what it's just long-winded. Now I have a process. You literally click, you fill out, you pick up the thing. Once you've done that, it notifies me. Then I go away, do the research. And then also the takeaway for the client has improved. So we've received good feedback with that. Social media as well. In the type of the way that we do the social media, we have to keep on top. That's the only thing that's been a little bit difficult, because social media, what is happening today is not what is going to be popping tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the quality to understand, that means that the spaces I'm in to get social media updates, to also understand what's happening within the algorithms, how we work with our client, what works with them, what doesn't work, has changed. I now have something called the Narrative Building Clinic, which helps founders, creatives, and organizations to write and formulate their founder story or their personal story really well as their business story. And I have something called the 7 stars. And the 7 stars helps you to really build that story properly. Before, I didn't have that. I didn't have that system base. And that's what I mean by quality. As you grow, as you write down the vision and you're walking with the vision and you're seeing the vision every single day, that I want to help people, who are X, Y, and Z. That's literally my vision.
Wow.
I run with it. Okay, how do I make, so for example, we help founders. How do I make founders' lives better via video and marketing and, media? Like, what do founders actually need?
Yeah.
I'm going to founders tables. I'm in founder clubs. I'm in founder groups. I'm listening to what their needs are. I'm literally with them. So once I listen to what their needs are and I know what I provide, I can kind of tailor my services or tailor my experience to that.
Yeah.
Before, I didn't have that. So it meant the quality that I was given was kind of poor. If you look at the things that I did probably 5 years ago, they were great. I'm not gonna lie, they were great for a beginner, but now.
But obviously, as compared to now, there's been huge improvement.
Huge improvement, and the goal of business is to improve your quality.
Yeah.
When you start business, your quality may not be great. It could be okay, but make sure that you purpose that you want to improve on your quality. That's why Apple always brings a new model, because they're back to the Apple fanatic.
So it's an improvement on the previous one.
Yes, they're always improving on the quality. They're improving on the technology that they have.
Yes.
They're improving on, and all of this is investment. It's work. You have to be willing. As a business, you have to grow, and as a business owner, you have to be even more willing, because if this thing crashes, that's it.
That's the end.
Right? It can't afford to. For me, this is my baby. So I think about it. I don't have children yet, but I think about, okay, how would I want to nurture my baby?
Yes.
What does my baby need? What food? What nurturance? What things? What clothes? And when you think about it like that, you literally build excellence. Business is to embody excellence.
Okay.
And every single day allows us to get closer to that excellence.
Wow. Wow. I think that this will need to be split into 2 sections or many series for people to actually consume this kind of information, because you are really giving, practical tips. You are into the thing, you are helping people, you are coaching people, you are doing all sorts of things, and how you've been able to build a brand, or which started just as an idea. Now you are evolving, you are building systems, you are committed to making it, improving upon it. That is so amazing. And you see, now in the business setup, in this world now, there are so many things. Like, you keep making case for Apple. It means that they are doing something which is so unique as compared to the other phone, manufacturing companies. In terms of branding, like your identity, putting your identity out there, how did you develop that brand identity for the Clear Narrative Media? And then what steps, for instance, if I'm doing a podcast and I want to build, a brand identity, the King Obed podcast, how do I go about it?
Yeah. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, it's like building something. Branding for me is clothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you decided to wear pink today, I've decided to wear black.
Yeah.
Why? So branding is the why, like, at the end of the day, I see branding is the identification, what people can associate with you. When you see me, people usually associate me as a person. I either have glasses on, which I don't have today.
Yeah.
I either have glasses on, or I'm always like laughing, smiling. That's a key feature for me to get identified. One thing I also have is this big green jumper, which a lot of people have now started to identify me with. So branding is things that you want people to associate with your brand, but you have to personify it. And that's the thing. A lot of people do not personify their brand, so people do not get attached or accommodated to their branding.
Their branding, yeah.
Now, when it comes to Clear Narrative Media, like I said, even in the name is part of the branding. When I initially came up with the name was just my initials, right? There was nothing behind it. It was just, okay, I need to put something on this. Let me just call it CN Media. Funny enough, when you break that down, it's you see and media, like, wow, I see you. So when someone really sees you, they see you clearly. They see the insides of you. They see everything about
you. Yeah.
They see the past, present, and future. And being able to see is very, very important. Without sight, you will go blind, right? And I just thought it was just something that I put together. And this is why I think, God, for the inspiration. So when I really thought about what it is that I wanted my brand to be known for, when it came to the name, I thought about what the business stands for. So my business is called Clear Narrative Media. Number one, clarity is everything.
Clarity.
Sight is everything. If you don't have sight, you are blind, right? But once you can see, you have, number one, you have hope. Once you can see, you have inspiration.
Yeah.
Once you can see, you know that things are possible.
Sure.
It's only when you can't see that you begin to have doubt and fear. So for us, clarity was a big thing. We want people, when they have businesses or they have organizations or they're a creative, we want them to have hope. So clarity was really very basic for me. But then when you bring the clarity and the narrative together, we believe that everybody has a story, right? From the day that you are born to the day that you die, your life is like a storybook. Everybody has a story. However, not every story gets read. Not every story gets used. Not every story inspires. not every story is even published.
Yeah.
There are so many stories that are written that are not published. And how we basically see the brand is that if everybody has a story, why is it that certain stories do better than others? What are the cool things? So if I was to ask you right now, give me one book that you've read, or one book that has truly stuck with you.
One of the books that I've read that I started and it has really changed my life is called The Power of Self-Discipline, No Excuses, written by Brian Tracy. And
why is that?
Because he laid the foundation that regardless of anything that you want to do, if you don't or you are not disciplined, it becomes very difficult for you to achieve it. So he says that self-discipline is the ability to do what you have to do when you have to do it, whether you like it or not.
And that stuck with you?
Yes. So it has been something that I have come to realize that everything you want to do is just about you. And your goals, everything, if you can achieve your goals, everything you want to do, it's about you being just a disciplined person. And all this that we are talking about, the ideas, money and everything. People have money, but they are not disciplined. So they cannot even keep their money. They don't even know how to even invest their money in all those. And it comes, in alignment with being a disciplined person. And so it has helped me a lot to shape my life. And
the key word that I picked up as you were talking was discipline.
Yeah.
So to you, one of your core value is discipline.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I've just been able to pick up from just speaking to you. Now, the reason why that book really resonated with you, because you want to seek for more understanding and you want to seek for more ways to be disciplined as a person for you.
Yeah.
Simply because you have goals, aspirations, visions. You have things that you want to achieve in this life. So you are the target audience of that book. So when you think about a business, or you think about a founder, or you think about a creative organization, there's that one key thing, that one, tagline, one thing that always resonates with somebody. And for you, it was discipline.
Discipline.
So when you think about businesses, what is that one thing? And that's why we want to make sure that, what is that narrative? What is that thing that, when I think about Apple, I don't know why, but when I think about Apple, I'm just like, okay, I love how this man started this thing and now he's built this thing into a multi-million complex, functioning, competing thing with big top names. Why? Because it just started with one person,
with just an idea.
So just an idea. What if Steve Jobs? That's who. If you were to mention Apple, everybody's going to tell you about Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
They don't care about anybody else, because he was able to position himself in such a way where he was known, but his brand was also known. So when it comes to clear narrative media, we want to ensure that whatever your story is, you connect to the right people with the right things. So that whether that's the right keywords, the right messaging, the right look, the right feel, the right, just as how you attached yourself to that book about self-discipline. He wrote about self-discipline. He could have written about how to cross the road and not die.
Yeah.
Right? But that wouldn't have resonated with you.
Yeah.
What resonated with you was discipline. And that would resonate with a lot of people, whether you're a student, whether you have a career that you're trying to build, whether you have a business that you're trying to build, because self-discipline is key, right? Without self-discipline, we're not able to function and do certain things. So you were able to attack, identify with him, right?
Yeah.
So this is going back to just branding, to answer your question.
Yeah.
There are key things that businesses or business owners need to ensure that allows people to attach themselves to the brand. And when we started, we needed to make sure that the narrative that we had was very key. And then how we were going to do that was obviously through media, so both online and offline. So that's just clear narrative media, bringing clarity to your story for all. right?
Yeah.
And we are all about transporting your visions to life. Whatever vision, idea you have, we're able to transform it in a clear, narrative way.
Wow. So you move people from in their confused state to a clear path or clear direction to be focused, oriented, and to lead a purpose, driven kind of life. Because once many people, have in their mind